Hello everyone, welcome to another Brucie-Magik review. Today, as you can see, I'm just in the cab getting set up. We are on the Armstrong Powerhouse Class 365 Enhancement Pack. And I'm going to be doing it in the lovely old school proper NSE livery, because it's the livery I like, with the original front instead of the smiley face one. But again, I want to highlight with this front basically the work that's gone into it to get that original fascia kind of look. Right, there's a lot of unit features on this train. That sound of that car horn is really going to annoy me. There's a lot of features on this particular model as well. A lot of basically functions. It's mostly functions and sounds, this one, but just have a quick look at the high detail on the units. I have got a reshade pack on at the moment, which I believe, if I remember correctly, I got from railsim.de. I think it's them. Anyway, so that's why it may appear a little bit more glossy or different than usual. But just wanted to have a quick outside look. Again, very nicely done skins by Armstrong Powerhouse. They never seem to let down at all. So yeah, usual high standard, nice crisp, high definition reskins. Right, let's get in the cab. So we need to set up the cab. There's a lot of functions on this particular model now that make it very, very interesting to set up. I'm going to turn the windscreen wipers on so we can temporarily see what's going on ahead of us. So, first things first, we'll put in the master key. So we get AWS, hit that, we get a DVD, driver vigilance device, PEEP. There's one thing I'm going to do before setting up anything else, that is Control R, guard operated or driver operated. So you get to choose the door mode of operation, which I think is really cool. And since I am anti driver only operation in principle and in my job, go unions, I'm going to go with guard operation. So we'll have a quick look around the cab. This is set up as a quick drive scenario, by the way, so there may be some AI traffic, but don't expect an awful lot. Just for the sake of me keeping it easy, it's a straightforward setup. Right, safety systems isolated, PASCOM alarm, speed set active. You can have a speed set. Basically, it's kind of like speed control. Call it cruise control if you like. For lack of a better explanation of it on the unit. It starts off at 3 mile an hour, 5 mile an hour, that goes up in, I believe it's 10 mile an hour increments to 100 mile an hour. Acceleration under this particular mode is a lot slower than if you accelerate normally, because obviously it's computer controlled. Right, there we go. You can get the time on the select button. That was one feature I remember. And you can also get when you spawn in a train, it gives you a random mileage that's reset each time. Every time you go into a scenario or put down a new unit. Obviously the counter is normally reset by a fitter. So obviously it was 18,000 miles since the fitter last had a look. You got your standard brake gauge there for the air. We'll just go over a quick look over the view of the buttons. You got your driver reminders appliance, which we've got a green. You can take that off. And we'll just start at the top, work our way down. I have got the manual open on my mobile phone if I need to have a quick look, but basically I'm just going to go over what can be used and what can't be used in a very amateurish manner, which I think you guys will be fine. Day headlight and marker lights, and then turn the tail lights off. There we go, driver's info lights, that doesn't come on. What's these down the side? VCD, AC select, panel reset, pan down, panel's already up. Signal, I can use C button for that. Door release, so driver only operation. Door release left, okay. Interlock, door open, close. There are your door controls for driver only operation. There's CPWS panel, emergency brake panel, your reverser, which is that funny weird shaped thing that reminds me of something rather perverted. And then we've got obviously a power and brake combined handle. Okay, so the hill climb button doesn't work on this. I think that's a hill climb start, hill start. Pedal isn't interactive, that's fair enough. Just a quick look down here. What's that? The windscreen wiper, driver wiper switch. We've got the horn, which now goes both ways, which is really cool. Sander, which doesn't work at the moment because I think it's on the automatic. Cab lights. Dash lights. There we go, that's better. Could do with that. Obviously we've got an NRN here, or cab secure radio, that doesn't function right now. Cab to cab, you've got your 2 phones. Obviously the unit numbers are realistically generated, so all the carriages should be correct, but it will randomly put one down each time. You've got all your breakers here, of which none seems to be interactive, but it doesn't really matter. Do the windows come down? No, they don't. Obviously don't on this model. Not really versed with this model. I haven't driven it a lot, but I thought, hey, I'll review something different for a change. I've done a lot of steam stuff recently. Steam locomotives, so I thought I'd do something a bit different. Right, let's just have a look for the cab views. Okay, pretty straightforward, 3 cab views. That's fair enough. Right, we'll look at the front of the train. And to go through your destinations, on the front, what we have to do is, first of all, make sure I'm in the right camera. And I can get a proper view of the panel. So use F7 and F8, use F5, F6, do different things. So F7 will be down, so obviously we'll go up alphabet. Each livery variant has, don't want King's Cross via Cambridge, is there any? King's Cross via Stevenage, there you go. Obviously each livery variant has its own destinations that are relative to the livery. Try again. Obviously each unit and each livery has its own destinations relative to the area that livery would have operated in, which I think is a very cool feature. So that means you can accurately set up different things. You can also change this in Scenario Editor. There is a guide in the manual of how to edit the number string to bring up the destination, so it's already set, so you don't have to set it up again, which is pretty damn good. Right, I believe I've got everything set up that should allow me to drive. There is adaptive braking and ABS sort of type systems on this, so this will be quite interesting. The wheel slip model as such, the simulation for wheel slip on this is very interesting. It's dependent on the season and weather, whether it's dry or it's wet or snow. So it's summer, it's wet, I should get some very small amount or limited amount of wheel slip or sliding when brakes activating. You can also engage the dynamic brake, which I think is that one, and it's not letting me control that because it's under, yeah, that's fine. So no big deal there. Right, we'll have a quick look at the interior view before we set off. Nice bit of dirt over it, bit restrictive view, but I mean at least it's looking forwards, so that's something. You can look out the window, I suppose. But I think that might be the same as the standard model. Okie dokie. Right, we're going to try and kick up this windscreen wiper. That's better, because when moving that is going to be very interesting indeed. Right, so since we're on the guard operation, we'll press T to open the doors. You can see they're all lit up. And then when it's done, we should hear the guards ding ding on the bell, which I can respond with the C button. And then we'll see what the sounds are like internally and externally as we go towards London. We probably won't go all the way, but it's worth a shot. Got a road, got a signal. There we go. And go to off release, notch 1. Notch 2. I use the HUD so you guys can see the speed. I know a lot of people play without the HUD, but for sake of all audiences, I prefer to use the HUD. I use obviously the keyboard controls rather than the mouse to control it, but it's just helpful. What it means is people can relatably see what settings I'm using to move the train. So far so good. AP's realistic volume can kick in here. You'll probably find that I'm louder than the train sim video. So for the most part, in terms of the actual internal sounds on the unit, they will be quite quiet. There we go. Start putting the brakes in early on step 1. Obviously the AWS will go off, will sound rather, about a second after it's activated in game, obviously as per realism. There we go. And so we shut off for the 25 mph speed limit onto the up slow. I've got an 8-car unit with me today, so we've got a bit more weight behind us, which is absolutely fine. There we go, and 150 mph it is. So obviously with Train Sim, when you're using AP packs, you might have to turn your in-game volume up a bit more. Use a volume mixer on Windows, or adjusting your sound settings to get the full benefit of the enhancement pack sounds. This goes for all Armstrong Powerhouse enhancement packs. It definitely picks up pace rather quickly. Now for some reason I haven't had the driver's vigilance device go off yet. So this is one quick drive. Just go have a quick look at my phone, hang on. Driver vigilance device DVD on off, control D. There we go, that's what we want. So you get a bit more of the realism and full benefit here. I meant to set that up before we left, but there you go. And it's nice that it's an option. Armstrong Powerhouse do these things really well, whereby they add a lot of realism, but as a really good developer they allow you the option to customize it to how you want. So if you want to drive with a bit more realism but without the driver's vigilance device going off every X period of time, then obviously you can just isolate it. Some people might find it annoying, or they just want a casual drive of the unit, which makes perfect sense. Now, interesting feature on this is in wet or snowy situations, depending on the season that you set the scenario or quick drive to, if you put in a heavy brake application, obviously it acts a bit like ABS's wheel slip protection on the trains. So it'll actually bring you to a controlled stop. The sander will apply as well in steps 2 or 3, which is pretty bang on. the rattle sounds. The weather, that's pretty cool. I know it says I'm speeding, I'm not really bothered. If this was on the speed set, basically what it'll do is it'll cut out and hover about 2 miles an hour below your target speed. Then obviously if the speed drops a little too much, then obviously the traction will obviously reapply power, and vice versa. If it feels it's going too fast, then it will cut back. Helps if I press B instead of V. Just got my phone before it slides off my lap. Double yellow. Actually, I have to admit, I'm just on step 1 and the brakes are actually very good. I'll just let it cruise at 85 miles an hour. So, coming off a relatively fast section, and we're going down to 70 and 60 respectively, which is fine. There we go. Just brake flat 60. Take a bit more speed off. Excuse me, my sleep pattern's not been quite right since I did a couple of night shifts. Okay, we'll just swap to, what I'm going to do is Control D. Just going to turn the driver's vigilance device off so we don't get caught out by it. I'm going to go external for the next section so we get to hear a few sounds. I don't know why it put me through that loop. That doesn't really make any sense. God bless quick drives. motor sounds very nice, very smooth. Seems like they're not the fastest units ever in real life. Station. Got to be near there, so. And there's what. Hallelujah. Let's take a look to the left. We'll see how fast it can go. So there's a auto contact for the speed limit. Further across to the left. Brakes are very good. Seems the dynamic braking system on this is pretty decent. Ultimate point the speed limit right there. Okay, let's pull into the platform. Hopefully stop in the right place. Hopefully there's an 8-car board somewhere. 4, so that should be 8. Oh, those brake noises are fantastic. Okay, so we've got the doors coming here. Excuse me. wish to, so let's go outside. Ah, there you go, wheel slip kicks in. I love the sound of these, mate, they're great. Okay, we're at 30 mile an hour, I should be able to put on full throttle now. We'll probably go another stop and I probably will finish a review. There's not a lot I can really say about it, apart from most of it is about the sounds and the functionality on this. And it's something I think is best to experience for your own self, but I can definitely recommend this pack so far to anyone who is thinking about buying it. $11.99, so good value from Armstrong Powerhouse. If you need the 465, which is a requirement, at the time this video will go up, the Steam sale is still on, so you should be able to get it at a discounted price, which again helps expand the DLC collection. Even though you use 465 for the 465, at least you get the correct front ends on these 365s. There we go. Definitely on the slow lines. And how far away are we? We're not too far away. Whistle, whoops. Track rubbing there. So far so good, sounds very steady, very smooth, realistic volume, which is always a good bonus. But yes, I am overall very impressed with this, and again I've only driven it for a short time, but I think it's fair to say that Armstrong Powerhouse have reached their usual high standards for the enhancement pack, and again it's nice to see that Armstrong Powerhouse are very consistent with their products. Again, something that seems to be quite rare with a lot of developers that have been and gone over the years, but Armstrong Powerhouse have always been a good constant. So I get a little bit of a sound clip when I use the spacebar, and I think that might be my computer more than it helps. As you can appreciate, you get a full sound motors here, which is very cool. okie, St.Neots coming on. We'll stop the unit here, because this has gone on for about half an hour. I don't want to bore you guys too much. I just really want to give you a taste of what it is, and Modern Reviews I haven't done for a while, so it's just me dabbling again. But again, very usefully, that's not the right thing, very usefully, this pack comes with 3 scenarios for the East Coast Main Line, London to Peterborough, each set in different areas, which is very nice. $60 or $80, so find out. Okay, we're slowing down for St.Neots. I love the adaptive brake sounds, it's lovely. It just has a lot more atmosphere about it than anything else. And I know it looks like the sky is very bright. I do apologise, it's a reshader that I'm trying out at the moment. That I got is €9.99, it's like a fiver. I'm just experimenting with it to see how it goes and what it does. So we'll just put a little bit more brake on than we need. And that's step 2. Where's that 8 cardboard? There it is, that'll do us. Okie dokie. So, if I just get rid of that for a second. So if we pop around, I just want to see the doors close because there's a bit of action that I want to show. Just see how smooth the animation is. Nice, got the Hustler alarm on it. Oh, brilliant. Well, I say. I say. So, in conclusion, well worth the money, good pack to have. Add some nice sounds to the unit. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's a bit of a put together, but I just wanted to try it, see what my thoughts were. But excellent, I've got no faults at all with this. Well worth the $11.99 for the money. So yeah, in conclusion, something that I would wholeheartedly recommend buying. It's a very good improvement over the default unit. I think it's been a long time coming, to be honest. It's been something that's been needed to be done for a good couple of years. And it's nice to see that Armstrong Powerhouse have tapped into that market of bringing modern sound add-ons for modern rolling stocks. Really good of them. But as always, top quality content and produce. And special shout out to the community, the wider community, who came up with the solution to have the original style front using the 465 pack with a smoothed top without the air conditioning unit on the roof, and that was something that's been greatly appreciated by the wider train sim community. So lo and behold, I think it's very much safe to say it's a good quality add-on, well worth your money and time. So this has been Brucie-Magik. I hope you have enjoyed the review. I know it's been a little bit slapdash and a little bit vague at times, but It's an AP one, so you can understand why I want you to try and hear the sounds a bit more. More content coming soon. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you dislike it, give it a thumbs down if you really want. But if you don't want to miss any more content, I suggest you subscribe to the channel, build a bigger audience, and share this video if you find it useful. Thank you very much for watching.